business. So, welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds Podcast. You got Chris and Chris. Today was the only day I did it, and I could do it. Nobody else said anything,
I
so here
did,
we
dude.
are.
I was like, what
Hey,
did
it was nonstop calls today, legitimately from the rip. There was no breaks, so my brain is shot. I can't word today.
I'm sorry to hear that. We
It's
got
okay.
plenty. We got plenty we can talk about.
We do. I only have two things,
What
so
what are your what list your two things before you go into them? What are your two things?
I have a show on Netflix that they released the final season not too long ago, but I finally started watching it again. It's called Disenchanted. It's made by the same people who made The Simpsons and Futurama.
Okay.
Um, and then Kimberly was on her Christmas break, so I was of course watching. She was in there watching TV the whole time. So she was watching. She was trying to rewatch an entire a show she used to like called Pretty Little Liars. So
Pretty Little Lies. Right.
I remember that was like when what's it called turned into Freeform or whatever. I remember that was like their big ticket item. So
I just never watched it. It just didn't seem like my kind of show.
it's it's not bad. I granted, let's put it this way. I probably there's like there's 23 to like 27 episodes a season. I probably watched about 3 to 4 episodes a season.
Wow.
So if that tells you anything, um that being said, I consider myself an expert.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you. I
Um
mean,
the entire show would not have happened if they just talked to the cops.
I don't
There,
even
I
know what
said
that
it.
means.
So they're being like blackmailed and stuff like that. And they know their friend faked her death, basically. And their friend's alive. But it's the whole thing of if these high schoolers just talk to adults or talk to the police or talk to their parents and told them what was happening, the show would have never happened. It went back to this, and then it's just a bunch of high school drama in front of that.
Right.
That's basically the whole show. Is it
Wow.
entertaining? Yes, I get my drama for the day out of it. So
Oh, I get it. I get it.
it's a fun show, but it's a show where if the girls just talk to the cops, the show would have been done. And it's just like the simplest things.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a one of the things that like I guess I just can't get my head around. Like I don't get it. But one of the girls is sleeping with her teacher, and it's kind of like everybody knows it except for like administration. But every student, all the kids, all the parents seem to know she's boinking her teacher,
And they don't care.
except for the principals or administration.
Well, I mean, hey, get it when you can, I guess.
I know. I don't know. It's just it's an interesting show. It's a fun show if you just want um your drama for the day,
No, that's cool.
because
That's cool.
sometimes that's all you need is some good drama.
That's right.
And if you don't have any drama in your life, what's better than watching other people's
I
drama?
would much rather watch other people's drama than participate in drama. I
Oh,
know that.
I do have two other things I wanted to talk about. I just thought about it.
Oh,
Of course, I want to talk about the Colts and how the Colts suck.
yeah, we'll get to the
Um,
NFL in a second. There's
but
a
I
lot.
want to talk about the Pacers. My mother-in-law bought us Pacers tickets.
They lost.
Um, I'm
Bad,
just
bad
gonna
luck for the
say
Pacers.
there were some bad calls. If me up in section 205 in the nose, I wasn't really the nosebleeds. We were like we were the first row of the balcony. But if me all the way up in the balcony can see these calls, then
Oh,
definitely the refs
the
couldn't.
refing in the NBA is. People complain about the NFL. The NBA is awful. I mean, they could call a foul any play, and then they just kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, and the problem is like there's traveling every play.
Yeah, there is traveling every play.
They can easily call a foul every play. Um, but it just seems like they don't want the Pacers to win. And that's like a known fact. The NBA does not want a middle America team to win because there's no market.
right? And their only superstar. Well, I mean, their only superstar really is Halliburton.
I'm not impressed with him. Granted, this is the first and only game I've seen of him.
I mean,
I am not
have you been
impressed.
watching the Pacers?
I've been looking at stat lines, keeping an eye
No,
on
you
things.
should watch them because Halliburton's something else.
Don't get me wrong, I know he's good, but my one instance of me actually watching him and not just highlights on Instagram or Twitter, which good news everybody, Chris has Twitter again.
Yay!
But no, my one game of now this is me not being an
Well,
NBA
it was the
but
Celtics, right? I mean,
it was the Celtics, but I just was not impressed with him. He did not have
he didn't have a good night.
He didn't have a good night. I don't think he had a points until the second half. He was 0 points until the second half. Granted, he had some assists and some rebounds and some steals, but
they play the Celtics again tonight.
yeah, it was let's just say it was a Celtics home game.
Dude, he checked his stats against Jason Tatum, right? Who plays for Boston. Tatum's averaging 27.5 points a game. Halliburton's averaging 24.2. He's 49.6 field goal percentage versus Tatum. Tatum's at 47.9, and his free throw percentage is better than Tatum.
Oh,
so I mean, he's
Tatum
good.
Couldn't miss it. Tatum hit like 6 or 7 3-pointers on Saturday. He couldn't miss. He couldn't miss anything.
I mean, let's put it this way. So Boston's 28-7, right? They're first.
They're first in the NBA.
Pacers are 20-15. They're
Pacers are going to make the playoffs. They're going to give somebody a run for their money. They're either going to get out in the first round or the second round.
They might make it to the second round.
Yeah. This is not their year. We are missing too many pieces.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And then it was like this so they drafted Reggie in 87 and Smith in 88. And then they slowly started build. I mean, they had Chuck Person and they had Detlef Schrempf, and they got rid of them and brought in better players to suit. So if he stays with the Pacers, they can build around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I'm pretty happy with where they're at right now. They are fun to watch.
They'll give somebody a run for their money in the playoffs.
Yes.
But they're not going to win all 7 games of a 7-game series.
I agree with that. I see that. But I watched a new show. I'm hooked on it. I can't wait. Actually, I'm going to watch it tonight. Maybe. Hopefully. I watched 4 episodes last night on Hulu.
What show?
Only Murders in the Building.
I want to watch that. I saw it on Hulu.
Dude, that show is so good. I watched 4 episodes last night, and it is really good.
You watched 4 episodes?
I watched 4. They're only 30 minutes long. There's 3 seasons. They're 30 minutes long. I watched 4 episodes yesterday. Because the afternoon game was who? I don't know who the afternoon game was yesterday, but I wasn't. Oh, it was the Bears and the Packers. Like, who cares? In my opinion. So I watched that instead up until I cooked dinner too. So that was kind of hard up. But yeah, Only Murder is a great show. I can't wait to watch more of it. Honestly, only 10 episode series, 10 episode seasons.
That ain't bad at all.
No. So
how many seasons are there?
They just did the 3rd season. So. Hang on, I'm trying to get to it. No. I wish I could just click onto it and it would come to it instead of having to. It like pulls up your TV show. You know what I mean? But
so what's it about? What's the synopsis?
Okay, so these 3 live in a building. Steve Martin is an actor. Martin Short is a play or musical director, and Selena Gomez just lives in the building.
Wait. Say those first 2 again.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Really?
Yes, and Selena Gomez.
I mean, Selena Gomez, but Martin Short and
Steve
Martin. What a
lineup! Yeah,
what a lot. I haven't heard anything from them in a while.
So what happens is they all live in the same building together in New York, right? And they are murder podcast like nerds. They love murder podcasts. So they find each other and they end up listening to the same podcast. So they have that in common because there was a suicide in the building.
Ooh.
But they think that there is a murder in the building. They think the person was murdered. He did not commit suicide. So that's why the podcast is they're only focusing on murders in the building. They don't want to go off on some wild tangent. So that's why it's called Only Murders in the Building. And they start a podcast called Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
So I am just getting started where they're starting to do the podcast. And Steve Martin's this washed up actor. Martin Short, he's an a-hole like director. Like he's such a dick. And Selena Gomez is she's really good in it though. I really like her character. She's a good actress. I kind of like her a lot. So if I was younger, I would have a crush on her.
Makes sense. I would too.
You know, she's too young, but
I guess she is my age. So
she's a cutie. Yeah, she's a cutie though. She's I don't want to put off that old man creepy vibe, so I'm not gonna say, dude, she's so hot. I do her. You know, no. She, you know,
you don't want to be creep.
I don't want to be creepy. You know, I'll do that with Catherine Hahn. You know, that's my main crush right now, obviously. But you got to watch Only Murders in the Building. It is a great show, so I highly recommend it. It's a show anybody can watch, men, women. It's a good, cute couple watch show, or not, because I'm not. But
you're not a cute couple, yeah, because
I'm not a cute couple, so I'm only going to watch it by myself. But I highly recommend it. But I did that, and then I think that's all. Well, I've watched a bunch of other stuff too, but we can get to that. Let's get to the NFL because I want to get to Hollywood news too. But the NFL, which stands for not for long, so people are bitching and moaning and complaining because the playoff game this weekend, the Chiefs and who they play, the Dolphins, is on Peacock only. They're streaming the game.
They did that last year, if I remember right.
No, they did not. No,
they didn't. I thought they did, or was it announced last year that they were doing it?
It is. Hang on, I'm looking for. No, I don't know. I just know that people are pissed off because they can't watch the game on regular TV, and they're not paying extra to watch it because, well.
Welcome to the new world where everybody ditched cable, but now you have to have everything to watch everything.
I mean,
so
IndyCar
might as well have kept cable.
IndyCar, the practice and qualifying is on streaming, and now they have races on streaming. And if you like them that much, if that is your team and you like them that much, pay the $6. Just get it for a month.
I guarantee you can go to B-Dubs or some other sports bar and watch the game.
Right. I agree. I'm just, stop. Quit your belly aching.
If it was really a problem, then protest. As in, stop watching stuff.
It's probably all them whiny ass Swifties that are mad they won't be able to see Taylor Swift at the game.
Probably. Knowing them Swifties.
Yeah, Saturday at 8 on Peacock is the Dolphins and the Chiefs. We've got way too many wild card games. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 wild card games. That's too many. We don't need that many. Monday night at 8:15. Why am I watching a playoff game on Monday night? I'm not going to stay up.
Hey, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to stay up and watch that game. Then you get the Lions and the Rams at 8 o'clock on Sunday. Why am I? See what I mean? There's too many games. The games on Saturday should be played at 1 and 4:30, not 4:30 and 8. But see, now you got a third game on Sunday. You got a 1, 4:30, and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be 1-4. I love the 1-4 or 1-4:30. Then I'm done. Then you know what? I have my evening. I can watch what I want.
Yep.
Because even if there were NFL games on Sunday, I could decide not to watch them because I might not like the matchup, and I might just watch a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. It's the playoffs.
We talking about the playoffs?
Playoffs?
Which the Colts aren't making because they didn't play like it was a playoff game, even though it was a playoff game on Saturday.
They kind of did, other than the last play.
I feel bad for that guy because he's getting a lot of hate right now.
I know, right?
But
don't drop the ball.
At the same time, you're playing at that level in that moment. That is what you.
That's what you get paid for.
That is what you get paid for.
That's exactly right. I thought the same thing. And then freak shit. You got the 10. Does anybody care about this now? The national championship game.
I forgot. I'm low key. I kind of forgot it was tonight.
Yeah, it's on tonight, 7:30, Washington and Michigan. Outside of Washington and Michigan, does anybody care? Because right now it's all about the NFL playoffs.
Ohio, but they're only hate watching Ohio fans.
I mean, everybody's getting into NFL playoff mode. The Falcons and the Commanders fired both of their coaches today.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. The what's it called? The college football goes too long. I don't. After the New Year's Bowls, I really don't care anymore.
And that's the way it should be.
And you know what? It's going to be even worse because they're expanding the playoffs next year.
They can't expand them too much. So they're going to have to start that earlier than
they're adding 2 more teams. I think it's going to either 6 or 8, which I'm okay with.
But they're going to have to. Those bowl games are going to have to shift prior because
you. As much as I love college football more than pro anymore, you can't compete against NFL playoffs.
Well,
the NFL playoffs is just more fun and more entertaining than 99% of the bowl games that go on.
I mean, those 2 games last week didn't disappoint, though.
No, they didn't. They were good games.
But
it's just.
But having to wait a week and now you're in the middle of they can't go into the middle of the NFL playoffs.
No. And this was playoff weekend. I don't care. There are 2 play-in games this weekend, basically.
Yeah.
Colts and Texans, and I forget the other one. But it was 2 of them that they win, they're in.
Well, you had Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, that was the one.
Jacksonville got beat. Well, then you had like the winner of the winner of the Falcons and the Saints. If Tampa had lost, then whoever won that game was going to go in.
Yep.
The Colts had a chance to go in.
The winner of that game went in. Texans or Colts.
Yeah. So. Right. So, I mean, at what point is the college football thing too much? And I don't care because the NIL money and this opting out of bowl games is hurting college football.
It is. I forget who said it. I saw it on Twitter. There was somebody on Twitter or some like ESPN or somebody said the NIL is hurting college players because what happened to, they were there for 3-4 years and then they were in the pros. Now you got guys with NIL, they're there until their 6 or 7 year now because they're getting paid.
Right. And they're still guaranteed they're going to go to the pros.
Yeah. And in a sense, I understand these kids. Back in the day, if they weren't being paid, I understand. I understand them not doing the bowl game. You're getting paid now. You got what you wanted. You do the bowl game.
Yeah,
but if your team doesn't make
but you're part of that team. You should be playing. You know what? If you don't play the bowl game, you don't get paid. That's what I feel.
You get in my opinion, if I was a fan of that team if I was a fan of the team that drafted you and you didn't play in your bowl game, I think of that as you quit on your team.
I agree.
And what's to stop you from quitting on?
Did anybody from Florida State play?
I don't. They were there. They were players on the field.
Right, but were those the first string players?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Florida State. All I
I don't
know
either,
is
but I know a
all
bunch
they
of
did
them
was talk
sat
shit
out.
about how they should have been in the
Well, I know a
playoffs, but
bunch.
then they got mollywopped.
Right, but I know a bunch of their players opted out of the game.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
It
matter.
does.
You know, what I mean doesn't matter is everyone. It doesn't matter to people because all they're going to say is your team got mollywopped.
Right. Well, I agree with that. Yeah, I know, but still, if you got between the portal and the transfer portal, see, used to if you transferred teams, you
You
had to
were out
sit
of here.
here. Yeah.
Unless the other coach approved it, which they never did.
Right.
Unless you just were somebody that didn't matter.
Money is all that matters. It has nothing to do
Yeah.
with anything anymore, and it's hurting college football.
In a sense, I agree the players needed paid,
I don't.
But I think it's ruined the sport.
How many of those guys that are getting paid now? How many are actually going to go to the pros?
Probably a lot, but I guess is how many of them are going to go to the pros and actually be something.
Right. Exactly. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I mean, obviously the playoff eliminates that, and they should have put the playoff system in years and years ago. They could have created bowl games that matter and put these guys in it, and then played the whole month of December. You know what I mean? And then cap it off on New Year's Day. Only play it on New Year's Day.
I think the college football tournament should start. I think it should start in mid to early December.
Well, it should because the final game of the season is always Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Unless you count like the Army Navy game, which is
that don't count though.
That doesn't count though because that's their own thing.
Right. But it's just what a mess, and they've created it, and they've allowed the people who want money, and who's making the most. There's people making more money than just these players with their NIL deals. These football programs with the TV money, and the CFB, the tournament and all that. That's all who's making that money there. They'd have been better off just playing for scholarships. That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea I don't even know who's. I mean, with the NFL playoffs, I don't even know who's going to go far. I don't. Nobody's good. I mean, the Cowboys, but they always take a crap in the playoffs. So, but here's the deal: the difference between that player checking in at the Lions game last week.
Yo, that was some bullshit right there.
Dude, the difference between that and now is the Rams have to play, or the Lions play the Rams in a wild card game. They would have been first place in the division with a bye.
Yeah.
That's a huge implication. They have to play an extra game now because of a referee.
Yep.
That's unacceptable.
Has the NFL come out and said anything about that yet?
Nah, they're sweeping under the rug like they do anywhere. But you can get tickets for $381 for the game.
Sign me up.
But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know who's going. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't even care who goes to the playoffs, and like I care. I would like to. Obviously, if I'm going to root for a team, it's going to be like Detroit.
I'm rooting for Detroit.
I would love to see Cleveland and Detroit.
Yeah,
those are the two teams I'm going to pull for. Browns play the Texans. So I'm not a Chiefs guy. I want to see the Bills. I hate the Steelers. Not a Packer backer. I don't care for the Bucks or the Eagles or the Rams. And the Rams I don't mind, but I would rather see the Lions win.
Yeah.
Back in the Rams. Or they move back in the Lions. There's too many animals. Lions and the Browns are going to be that's who I'm backing.
I hate the Browns for some reason. Don't ask me why, but
Why would you
I hate
the Browns?
I don't know. I just don't like the Browns. My money's on the Lions. There's no AFC. I'm usually an AFC person, but there's no AFC teams I can support. I don't want the Steelers. I don't want the Browns. Maybe the Ravens because I kind of like Lamar.
Oh God, I freaking hate the Ravens.
But I'm tired of hearing about Lamar too.
Right. That's the NFL news. So we'll see what happens next week. I'm pretty excited for the playoffs. I'm gonna be busy doing nothing, watching, which I do every weekend anyway. But this is now I have a reason to sit at home and do nothing because there's NFL games on all next week. So
all next week. You're gonna do what you always do.
Right. But now I can say, oh, I'm not doing anything this weekend because I'm watching the NFL playoffs instead of I'm not doing anything this weekend because I'm a loser. I mean, there's a big difference there.
Is there?
No, because I'm still a loser for one to sit at home and watch the. I wish our damn freaking wing house was good. I would go over and watch football there.
B-dubs?
That's what I meant.
Why don't you go to like Half Moon? The Half Moon bar is really nice.
I could do that, I suppose. I don't know. I won't talk. I would. That means I'd have to get dressed and go out.
That's okay.
I don't know.
There's probably bars downtown you can go to.
Yeah, I ain't going downtown. I'll run. I might run into somebody I know if I go out. I won't do that.
Why would that's I a bad thing?
I want to do that. But anyway, on to Hollywood.
What happened in Hollywood?
Okay, so the Golden Globes last night was on last night, right?
Yeah.
So I guess they did some kind of comedian award, which Jim Gaffigan did the you know who Jim Gaffigan is, right?
Yeah.
So Jim Gaffigan presented the award for the comedian, and he's like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm a celebrity. He says I'm from a small town in Indiana, and I'm not a pedophile.
So, I
love all the Jim Gaffigan.
I love all the jokes coming out now with about Epstein.
He is from Indiana.
Yeah.
He walked on at Purdue, I think, one year. I've seen him in person. He's really good. But he is from Indiana. He is not a pedophile. I thought that was so freaking hilarious. And he got laughs. Yeah. So.
Well, it's kind of like what's his face a few years back at the Oscars, the British guy.
Oh no, that was at the Golden Globes too. Yeah, but
was it?
Yes, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got lambasted by people.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Oh no, I don't. I love Ricky Gervais. Even though he's an atheist, I like him. I think he's hilarious. Yeah, he's from Chesterton, is where he grew up.
Chester the molester.
Chesterton, Indiana, is where Jim Gaffigan. He attended La Lumiere School in LaPorte, and he played football, and he attended Purdue for 1 year. So, and he played at Purdue. So, but anyway, so on to awards. So Oppenheimer won like a buttload of awards, of course.
Yeah.
Now check this crap out. I saw this and I saved a picture of it. Judd Apatow says it's insulting. I agree with him on this one. Judd Apatow says it's insulting to put Barbie in the Oscar race for adapted screenplay.
Why does he say that?
Where's the material?
What do you mean? Like what's it?
It's adapted screenplay. So like they took the book about Oppenheimer and made it into a movie.
Yeah.
What's the source? What's the source material for Barbie?
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Toys. I mean, well, why didn't Battleship get nominated then? It's adapted from the board game.
Do they say you sank my battleship in that movie?
No.
Well, then
but it did kind of do the grid. There is a scene with like a grid.
Really?
And Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. That movie got a lot more hate than it deserved. Did it deserve a lot of its hate? Yeah, it wasn't the best movie, but was it a fun movie? Yes. Was it a fun action movie? Of course. So that's all I cared about.
It's just I don't get why is Barbie being up for best adapted screenplay? Now, I didn't say best screenplay, best adapted screenplay.
And this is coming from two guys that like Barbie.
I did enjoy Barbie very much. I thought it was a funny movie, but it don't belong. I mean, let's be honest. Honest. Is that an Oscar? I'm not going to put it as an Oscar material movie, and I have nothing against the movie.
Will it win one? Probably.
For what?
They'll find something.
I think they will. I think they almost. It's at this point they're almost obligated to give it.
Because it's about women and empowerment.
But it's not. It's about Alan. Alan was the best part of the whole movie, really. I just don't make that. That's just not an Oscar movie to me. It really isn't. That's like putting Step Brothers up for an Oscar. And I love Step Brothers. Or Ricky Bobby. I mean, come on. It's a ridiculous movie with some ad libs and some comedy. And it's a cute movie, but I don't put it as an Oscar winning performance type of film. And I never would. And I never will. And I'm not sorry. Maybe Greta Gerwig as best director. I can see that.
Yeah.
It is a good,
or maybe like
direction wise
actor or best supporting actor. I could see them in the running for that.
I don't know. She's Margot Robbie. She's the same in every movie.
You're right. She does.
Smear her lipstick and she's Harley Quinn. I don't know. I wouldn't put anybody acting wise in it, but I could see like direction, maybe design, like set design or whatever. Maybe that. But as far as a picture or script or acting, I would not do it personally. I don't.
No. Sorry, I'm checking. I'm in the kitchen checking my food real quick.
That's okay. So I wouldn't do that. But that's the latest Oscar. That's the latest movie news, I think. And then I just watched a bunch of shitty movies this weekend.
Anything worth talking about?
Yes. Holy cow. Yeah, we've got a Knotbuster going.
Oh, Knotbuster alert. Ding, 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 ding.
Here, I've got one to surprise you, though. I bet you would never know I would watch this movie. I watched it on Friday night. I even stayed up late, popcorn and everything.
What movie?
For a loop. Huh?
What movie?
Akira.
Battle Angel?
No, Akira.
What's Akira?
It's an anime movie.
Akira Battle Angel.
It's
with what's this?
Akira.
No, it's not.
It is. It's from 1988. It's just called Akira.
Oh, that one. No, there's another Akira called Akira Battle Angel.
Oh, no.
It was a live action.
No,
movie.
This is the anime Akira with the motorcycle gang and.
Really, you watched that? That's an. Oldie.
I did. Huh?
I said that's an oldie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not gonna put it on my white knuckle rotation of movies I would watch all the time, but holy crap, for a movie that came out in 1988, it really kind of hits home today. And the scary part is it came out in 88, mm-hmm. But the year in the movie is 2019. Have you seen it?
No, but it's one of those movies that it's like if you're an anime fan, you kind of have to watch it at some point. Speaking of anime, before I forget, because I know I'll forget, there's an anime on D&D or on Netflix that just got released about D&D that I got added to my wait list.
Okay.
Anyways, keep going.
So basically what happens is World War III has come and gone, right? So 31 years later in 2019 in Neo Tokyo, there's like a motorcycle gang. Not like a motorcycle gang like we know motorcycle gangs. They have they're teenagers, they have motorcycles, blah, 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 blah. One of them gets hurt goes into the hospital, and the military and the government get involved and put something in this guy's head, and he goes bizarro. Right, that happens right now. The news is ran by the government, which we know that's happening here in America right now, right? They censor. They tell you what you want. Well, what they want you to hear. If you try and put the real news out there, they censor it. They don't want it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in this movie that have come to fruition. And like I said, this is an anime movie from 1988.
Sounds like real life almost.
I know, right? It's crazy. I recommend it. It's on Hulu right now. I watched it on Hulu.
Yeah, as I said, I think I saw it on Hulu not too
long ago. Yeah, it's on Hulu and Crunchyroll and Funimation. But I was surprised at how good this movie was. It wasn't, oh my God, I love it. It's so freaking awesome. This is like the best thing I've ever seen. But it is good. So I watched anime on Friday night, and it was really good. But then I'll save on the Knotbuster. But I did watch Corvette Summer, right, which is on Plex, which is an app. They've got really good stuff on Plex actually. And Corvette Summer has Mark Hamill and Annie Potts in it.
How old is it?
From 1978.
So it's young Mark Hamill.
It is very young Mark Hamill. He is a kid in high school, and he built a car in his shop class, and it's a Corvette Stingray, and it gets stolen. And
that's a federal offense right there.
He tracks it down to Las Vegas, Nevada, and he hooks up with Annie Potts there. And Annie Potts is she's a hooker in training. Basically, she wants to be a hooker. So she's going to Vegas. So they kind of get together and wacky hijinks ensue. And it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it. The car is sick. It's just an old Corvette. It's a 73 Corvette Stingray that he's customized. And but Corvette Summer, it's really good. I enjoy it. It's got a lot of people in it. Annie Potts is in it. Mark Hamill. His shop teacher has been in every TV show in the 80s that you can think of. Ken Milford's in it. He was in a Riff Track movie that I saw called Laser Blast. What a piece of shit that was. Who else? Danny Bonaducci's in it, who was Danny from Partridge Family. Brian James is in it. He's been in a ton of movies. I know he was in the movie 48 Hours. Wendy Jo Sperber was in it. She had a bit part. She was in Bachelor Party. Mm-hmm. She was in Back to the Future. She played Marty McFly's sister in Back to the Future. So check that one out. Corvette Summer. It's a fun movie. Nothing exciting. Nothing, eye-opening, but definitely one to watch. Then we get to the Knotbuster, which is called The Big Bust Out. 7 beautiful women in a high-security prison set the stage for a big bust.
Are you reviewing a porno?
No, this is although they are naked majority of the time. They sleep naked, and of course they show them in the shower. And I never seen so many hot women in a movie in a prison before. It tells the story. This is on IMDb. It tells the story of 7 beautiful women who escaped from a high-security prison. After the breakout, Rebecca and her fellow escapees find they are in more trouble than they had imagined as they become the victims of Miller Drake, who is involved in white slavery.
White slavery?
The funny part is one of the women in the prison is black, so it's really not white slavery. You can find this movie on Freevee. I love the Freevee app too.
I finally downloaded Freevee. I really like it because it has a 24-hour Stargate channel.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. All they do is play Stargate.
I have apps like that. I have what's it? Not Tubi, the other one. The other free one, Pluto.
Yeah.
Because they have Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks 24/7.
There's a lot of those that are really nice. Their apps are a little iffy sometimes.
These are good apps, though. I highly recommend.
Freevee. I've had issues with Freevee since I started using it, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as Paramount, which is
Well, this movie. So these women break out with. So what they do is they go on work release at a convent, right? And with
work release at a convent.
Yeah, they go to work release at a convent with these nuns, and there's like army guys there, and of course they seduce the army guys
God.
to steal their weapons. And like this one woman, she like takes off her top and she goes, "Take me, please. Go ahead. Isn't that what you want?" And this guard's like, "Don't talk to me that way, you whore." And he bitch slaps her. But of course, she gets the upper hand and takes his weapon. So good for her. I don't know how these women have so many damn costume changes as they traverse across the desert with this guy.
Is this a movie that we need to send into Riff Tracks?
Well, there's too much nudity, I think.
Oh, true. Speaking of Riff Tracks, we need to go to see them live in Nashville.
I would love to see them live. What need to do with that? I don't even know what they've got coming out. I know they're hurt. I know MST3K didn't get their money thing level, so they're not able to do MST3K or MST3K. But I would love to do that. But this movie is horrible. It's badly edited. I don't know where the women get all their costumes from. And so the best part, for some reason in those 70s movies, and I don't know if it is just like the dubbing, but the Foley artist is out of control. Because all that you hear are people walking. Like it's constant. Like there's always constant footsteps going on. Like this is the noisiest walkers in the world. Then they're on horses, and it sounds like there's like 20 people in this room banging empty halves of coconuts together, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's just, but ended up like by the end of this movie, of the 7 prisoners, spoiler alert, only 2 end up surviving. And
spoiler.
Unlimited ammunition. They go up against these armies. I can't figure out if they're in Italy, but they end up at some like fort that looks like a mosque. And I don't know why the army's involved, but I think it has to do with the guy who wants the women for his slaves. It's just kind of all over the place. But it was only
asking questions at this point.
It was only an hour and 11 minutes long, so I didn't feel like I wasted too much time. I'll give it an hour and 10 minutes. So, but yeah, the big bust out, it's literally and figuratively boobies and busting out of jail. And it's, it's exact, and it's made for, it's an Italian import. So you get exactly what you think. It does not, if you know what you're going to get as soon as you start watching it.
So it's a spaghetti western.
It is a spaghetti women's prison movie.
How'd you even find this? Did it just randomly pop up on Freevee?
I think it did. Like it's, because I kind of like search for stuff, and there's a lot of those cheesy ass movies, and I'm always looking for not Buster movies, right?
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon it on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, one or the other. And I'm like, it's only an hour and 10 minutes. I'm not going to feel like I'm wasting too much of my time. So I think because I watched Corvette Summer and it just like, we recommend these. And that's how I stumbled upon it. So thank goodness that I stumbled upon it. But that's my not buster of the week. So check it out. The Big Bust Out. If you're into
name.
I know, right? If you're into female prison movies.
You really need to get back to watching our Hot Ticket to Miami guy.
Hot Ticket to Hawaii.
That's Andy it. Why did I say Miami?
I don't know. Andy Sedaris movies. Yes, we do need to get back to those. I agree 100%.
He was a genius that we never knew about.
He was a genius. I don't have any Nutbusters that I know of. I might have them like on the Freevee app that I've saved for later, you know?
Yeah.
I might have some saved. I don't remember if I do or not. I probably do. But I'm pretty stoked about it, honestly. Loving the Freevee app.
Mm-hmm. I forgot. I brought it up at the very beginning, but I did want to talk about Disenchanted. It's a Netflix show made by the guys that made Family or Simpsons and Futurama.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
It just they released their newest season not too long ago, but I kind of just started watching it. It is really good. I went back and rewatched most of it, just to kind of refresh my memory, and I forgot how funny it is. Like I'm sitting here like dying laughing at like, 'cause I watch a lot of stuff like when I get back from the gym in the morning. I'll watch like movies and stuff, and I'm sitting here like 5:30 in the morning cracking up, just watching it. Um, if you've never seen it, I highly suggest it. Um, it's about a fantasy land. It's called they're from Dreamland, and it's about them basically just about Dreamland and shenanigans ensues. Um, it's about the king goes crazy and because he was buried alive and's like honking like a duck or a goose. Um, Now we just found out that the princess has magic powers and she's trying to control them, but she's accidentally murdering everybody that's trying to help her control her powers. And it doesn't help that she's an alcoholic. And they have references to The Simpsons and Futurama and other shows in it. So it's one of those adult animated comedies that's really just it's smarter than it should be. It's not like watching Family Guy where it's stupid humor. It's more like I don't want to put it on the same level as South Park, but it's made by the guys that made The Simpsons and Futurama, so it's not going to be a dumb comedy.
Right.
Of course, it does have its dumb moments, but it's got some pretty well thought out jokes in it too.
Well,
I don't really. That's about all I wanted to talk about. You got anything else, Chris? Or
I don't think. Didn't we have something we were going to bring up next week and we forgot? It's next week.
Yeah, I forget.
I forget too. It must not be that important.
Yeah, it's as important as we wanted to make it. If it was important, somebody would have remembered.
I know. I would have at least wrote it down in a note, and I don't think I did. I did.
I don't write stuff down. I put it all in a Google Doc, and nothing was in my Google Doc. So
Okay. Well then.
Thank you for watching another episode, listening, one of the three, to another episode of Who's Your Nerds podcast. You can catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter, and me now since I got Twitter again. Who's Your Nerds on Facebook. You can watch and listen to us at YouTube, and you can catch us at your favorite podcasting sites: Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, and Amazon. And now you know.
And then you'll never wonder who Zaire Nudes is, though.
Nudes.